From the Oklahoman newsroom, it's time for the Energy FC Weekly Update. I'm Jenny Carlson here with a couple guests from the Energy. First up, well, this is the Josh Show, by the way. Josh Garcia, a player with the Energy, and Josh Evans, VP of Communications with the Energy. And guys, before we get to Josh, your role with the team, which I'm really excited to talk about, let's rewind for a second, Josh Evans, with this game last Saturday. Guys go to Reno. It's a tough result, 2-0. Reno wins that match. Last 53 minutes of that match, 10 men after Miguel Gonzalez was ejected with a red card. Right now, there's just some struggles to get on the board. What's sort of the feeling right now amongst the guys?
I think that they're really working and they're trying to sort things out. It's not any fun to be in that position that they're in when you're going and you're putting out maximum effort and you're not getting the results. I think that the technical staff, Steve, and John, and Danny, are a firm belief that if they can get one goal, they might get 7, and they're just waiting. It's building up behind the dam, and once the dam bursts, then it'll be good. There's no question they've dug themselves a little bit of a hole, but I think that they have the confidence in the guys that they're going to go and work through it and get going in the positive direction. Yeah,
that scoreless streak now at 339 consecutive minutes and 6 straight losses. And Josh Garcia, you've been practicing with these guys. What's the mood right now in practice as the guys have gotten into this and have struggled to score?
I would say it's more of a togetherness. Like, everybody's coming together because they know that it's a we thing and nothing that we have to progress as a team. Whether the results are going good or bad, it's a great group of winners, and they know that to bounce back from the losses we've taken or whatever, that they need to group together and work twice as hard to get on the right track again.
Yeah, Josh Evans, you've seen teams have swings that you struggle in. How have you seen teams in the past respond to not sort of getting overwhelmed by where are we in the standings, what's going on? How have you seen the teams that do it well? What have they done?
Sometimes I think it's up to the players they're going to execute the things that the coach has asked them to do. They're professional athletes. Yeah. They know what they need to do. Sometimes it's the players that come together and say, guys, like, this is unacceptable. What is that one thing that they need to do? And being down, and you can't beat yourself into greatness. You have to accept what happened. If it's like a loss, the toothpaste has come out of the tube. It doesn't go back in. What can we do for the next 23, 24 matches to get us to the point where the team can be successful? Yeah,
well, the next one comes Saturday. A lot of Saturday matches for the team, but this one at home, a place that has been really good for this team, for the Energy. And this is kind of a party atmosphere. It's a 7 o'clock Saturday. Swope Park Rangers are in town. It's also Cinco de Mayo, if people hadn't put that all together with their calendar. So, Josh, you guys are really kind of shooting for an atmosphere that rivals what people that were out there may remember when the Chivas friendly came in 2016, right?
Correct. We're going to have let's call it the party. So when you walk in that northeast entrance at Taft Stadium, you'll have salsa dancers. You'll have a salsa tasting with Morelos. There will be, it's called Latin-themed food trucks. El Taco Box will be there. Taco Addict will be there. The El Churros Miyoki will be there, which they have churros. The guy that, I'm not going to attempt to pronounce the food truck's name, I apologize, but he's got mangoes with chili powder on them and also roasted corn, which it's phenomenal. So if you have the opportunity,
how are you not going to have to run over there, Josh?
Definitely.
Come on, let's go. Sure. Yeah, and $2 Corona Lights too.
$2 Corona Lights, and I think the thing that we're most excited about is, I know you can only accurately predict the weather 36 hours in advance, but it looks like we're finally going to have some regular spring weather. The weather, it's supposed to be like in the mid-80s in the afternoon and cool off. It should be a fantastic evening.
Yeah, and Swope Park is a team that people, even if they aren't avid followers of the Energy, probably remember this match last year, Western Conference Finals. You guys get to the end of regulation, 0-0, and it's 11-player PK. Josh, most guys never see anything like this. What went through your head when you heard about 11-player PK?
Just kind of outrageous seeing how that it went through all the players, and then just like kind of nail-biter as well. So really, really, really anxious and excited about that.
Josh Evans, I got to think guys still talk about that shootout with Swope Park, people within the organization.
We do. It's especially the guys that were here last season, a guy like Jose Angulo, a guy like Cody Andrews, a guy like Miguel Gonzalez, who unfortunately won't be playing in that match because of his red card. It's not a mean, it's not even a revenge thing. It's that let's take the opportunity, let's use this, let's play a good team, let's get the result that they're after, and use that as a springboard to positive things for the rest of May, June, July, etc.
Yeah, promises to be a matchup of teams that know what they're doing out there, lots of fun stuff for the fans, and who knows, maybe if there's a win on the board, Coach Cook gets over there and salsa dances afterwards. I'm just putting it out there.
That's a fantastic idea.
Why couldn't that
That's
work?
a fantastic idea.
He's not here to defend himself. Let's put him out there.
Yeah, we'll sign him up.
Okay. All right. Well, Josh, let's talk a little bit about you, because some really cool stuff coming down today. You're going to be on the U23 team, and this is, it's one of those stories that you don't hear every day. You showed up at the Open Combine in January for the Energy. Not really a known commodity, sign up late. First of all, tell us about your soccer background, because to get from there to U23, we'll talk about that in a minute, but how did you end up at the Combine? Where did soccer start for you?
That was quite a journey. It actually started when I moved to Oklahoma from Massachusetts and used to play baseball, and then my stepfather brought us involved with the sport. And I necessarily wasn't a good player to begin with, as you are with new things, but I was really competitive and had friends that were good and wanted to get better. And then I guess 6th grade was the first time I tried out for a team, Belle Isle Middle School.
Belle Isle Middle School, okay.
Didn't make the team. I mean, and
no,
that was part of it. And so had to go through that, but that never let me put my head down. I actually was like, okay, I got to get better. And then ended up moving to Roosevelt, which is here, a local school in Oklahoma City. Yep. And from there, tried out 7th grade. I was better, but not good enough, but I still made the team, which was progress, and I got to be in that environment to improve. And then 8th grade came a time where my friends were talented and younger, so I was actually benched my 8th grade year by 6th and 7th graders, but that was kind of what fueled the competitiveness and the motivation to get better, so since then it was just like a grind throughout high school, which was U.S. Grant, and then I had to make sure I got better than my friends before, because when they get there, they'd bench me again, so that was the main thing. And after that, I kind of just kept at it and kept grinding and working hard, and I played locally for clubs. Tried out with OFC, didn't make the team. Tried out with Norman, and it was like the B team, so I played with Cosmos my first 2 years of freshman and sophomore. Then I ended up playing with Canadian Valley in Yukon.
Wow.
And then from there, college, and ended up coming back to Oklahoma City and playing at the local league here, the men's league, for 2 years, and I would still think that I still have an opportunity. I'm still playing well, so why would I not try out? And then come a Wednesday night where it's a deadline day for the tryouts, I decided just give it a shot. Just give it a shot, And then from there, I signed up, and it was just kind of crazy, because obviously I'm sure the coaches had everything prepped for the next day, and I did it so late that it was hard for me to adjust, because my name wasn't on the roster sheet, and they go with that group, so it's kind of like you're no one, and then you haven't built your reputation, because it's not that I went to a big D1 university that brought a lot of buzz about me, so it was basically me, myself, and I got to do what I can to show what I can do.
Yeah. And
from there, first day, I felt it was kind of rough, because again, working 40 hours a week and then trying to make time for a dream, so that led to the next day, which I feel went better than the first day, but fitness-wise, I had just came from vacation, so I was cramping up, so from then on, I decided I'm eating bananas and I'm hydrating all day, and then to the third day was my best day, and I felt like I had enough moments that made the coaching staff want to see more of me.
Wow.
And that's what led to this.
Now, I said you were unknown. It's not entirely true. In 2011, you were an all-city guy at U.S. Grant, which has a really solid soccer program they've been building over the years. But, that's still 7 years ago. So when you show up, you're not a name, like you say. Yeah. What do you think you showed the coaching staff over that 3-day combine that ultimately they brought you on? You were practicing with the first team. Now we'll be joining the U23. We'll get to that all in a second. But what do you think you showed them at the combine?
The heart and determination to get what you want out of life, not just soccer, but I think the way I played and the determination I showed that I've been through obstacles in life, that whether I have a bad day, a bad pass, whatever it is, that I'm going to do the best I can to be better the next play or the next day.
Josh, you saw some of the combine. What do you remember about Josh Garcia?
Just as he said, that the list of players that they had, if there were 85 people there, he was 85th on the list, and he went from 85th to 1st in the span of about 72 hours.
Yeah.
And the coaching staff was impressed, just as he said, his hard work and his willingness to get out there and to keep after it. And he's been training with the first team since then, and it's now May 1st.
Yeah. So what are the last few weeks been like? First of all, you get the word you got pulled in. I mean, that had to be an exciting moment, right?
It was surreal. I was in shock. Honestly, I was just like, wait, what? I had to sink into reality that this was actually happening.
Yeah. That
I came to this combine, and then with a lot of great group of players, I got chosen because it was said that there was only going to be one player selected. He picked 4. And I was the last one. My name was the last one announced.
Wow.
I don't know if that was the order they chose it, but the suspense was real whenever it came down to. And for our last player, midfielder number 51, I think is what I had, and I was like, wait, that's my jersey. That's my jersey. I was like, okay.
I'm wearing 51.
Yeah. And then my friends were there as well that tried out, and that's when they were like, I knew you'd do it, you know, and all the support from the friends and everything that were there. It's really, really great.
What's the experience of practicing with the first team been like? How is that? I have to think that has to have an influence on your soccer.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because playing locally here for 2 years, it's not the same thing as when I was playing in college. So that was like, I would necessarily step down, but the organization and the seriousness of the sport is different. So it was like a big adjustment period of catching up. Like I wrote it down on my memo on my phone: technical, physical, and tactical. Like these are the 3 things I got to improve as quick as possible, because it's a trial with the first team during preseason. You know, it could end up that after the preseason it doesn't work out. So I just had to like really dig down and dig deep and try to catch up as quick as possible.
And you mentioned earlier, just in passing, but something that's not small, you're working 40 hours. Like a lot of us in the real world. So here you are working your normal job, and you've got to find time to get yourself ready. How much of a challenge has that been?
That was the toughest part, because it's like there's a thing like burning out. You know, it's at first it was Monday through Thursday, and I was like, oof, I need a breather, you know, and then it got to where I make it through Friday perfectly fine. And then now, basically, I can manage it throughout the week as long as I'm resting, sleeping good, and like stretching good, and making sure you're taking care of yourself throughout the whole process.
How do you not sleep well with all that work? You've got to be like a tired guy at the end of the day.
It's hibernation after 9 p.m. It's hibernation.
So nobody call Josh after 9. He's done. Well, I mentioned you've been with the first team these last few weeks practicing, but now the U23 team will start practicing as a unit. You'll have some that will go practice first team, some, but what's it going to be like to be with that U23 team and really start to bring that group together?
That's going to be really, really exciting, and I would say somewhat of a challenge, because there's not much time to prepare for games, because everyone's coming from different locations. We probably meeting each other for the first time, but that's going to be a test of brotherhood and a camaraderie, just to get after it and get the end goal of winning games, you know, because that's going to come pretty quickly as well.
Lastly, you know, as you mentioned, you know, Belle Isle, Roosevelt, U.S. Grant, there are a lot of kids out there that know those schools, go to those schools. They might see you sitting up here. What would you want to say to kids that might be in your position and maybe wanting to do what you're doing?
Everything I already do, because I actually signed up as a volunteer for OKCPS. So I've gone to U.S. Grant High School where I went, just to give the kids some guidance, because I went through a lot of obstacles in my life, like via growing up where I've grown up and going through college and being the first one from my family, immediate family. I didn't have that help or advice to say, hey, what should I do now? You know, so now I want to be a go-to person that they can look up to, because they could be struggling academically or it could be with the sport, you know. So I'm going to tell them, look, just don't give up on your dreams. You never know when it's going to come. The timing, it's not a given thing, because this is 2 years after college that is happening for me. You know, the opportunities are here. So you're going to have but I didn't prepare for this moment then. You know, I prepared late. So now if I can help them get on track now, that's like the best thing that helped me feel like accomplished and fulfilled.
Ultimately, you believed in yourself. You signed up for that combine, didn't you?
Yeah, you have to have a big belief in yourself, because if you don't, those things begins to show, because it's easy after college, you can easily settle down. Okay, I got a degree, I can get a job, you know, but when it's 2 a.m. and you can't sleep and you're thinking about something, and it's soccer for me, you know, so I was like, I have to give it a shot, you know, before anything.
Josh Evans, as you listen to Josh Garcia talk, a local guy who's now part of your developmental program, we've said it numerous times in numerous ways as we've done these over the years, but he's really the kind of guy that you guys as a franchise want to develop here in Oklahoma.
Absolutely. He has guys like himself, like Brian Byers, who we had on last week, that can play soccer at the highest level. They can aspire to play at the highest level they want to. and do it right here in Oklahoma.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe one day yet this season we'll see you with the big team.
Yep, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Well, at this point, is anything out of the realm of possibility with you?
Nope.
Don't think so.
Nope.
All right, the Josh Show has come to a completion, but if you want more information on Saturday's game, the big Cinco de Mayo celebration, the U23 team, all that is at Energy FC. Be sure to stay with the best coverage team anywhere at newsok.com and every day in the Oklahoman.